Welcome to SCCSC, guys. Welcome back, that is. I've got three things today. First thing I'm going to say is please subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we can do this. Let's do it. The second thing I want to say is that I have a wacky deposition video today where a failed truck driver denies everything he can, including reality. And the third thing I want to say is I forgot. But let's talk about the video. All right, so in this video, we have a truck driver from Texas who smashed into another car seemingly while changing lanes. And I will let you guys watch the video and decide for yourself what happened. Now, that's the serious side, and we have to understand that there is some seriousness to this video. I mean, the guy who crashed the truck, he's trying to cover his ass in the deposition by saying he doesn't know anything. The motorists that got hit, they're trying to get money from the situation because they got fucked up. So there is a serious aspect to this, but the whole thing comes off as like sketch comedy in a way. It's ridiculous. From the lawyer being frustrated.
As of the date of the wreck, you were working for Andrews Distributing?
Yes.
And you were working as a truck driver?
Yes.
To the truck driver just not wanting to answer shit. The whole thing comes off as quite entertaining. So first, let's see the incident. Let's see actually what happened. All right, here's a second view of the accident. All right, so now that you've seen what you've seen, and you've kind of formed your own opinion on possibly what happened, let's get into the deposition. Get ready to deny.
Do you go by Josh or Joshua?
Josh.
Josh, you understand you're giving a deposition in a lawsuit?
Yes.
And are you aware of the nature of that lawsuit?
Yes.
Okay, so I trust that I'm not going to have to go through all that with you on why you're here today. Fair?
Yes.
You remember the date of the wreck that we're here about?
November 15th, 21.
And where did this wreck occur?
George Bush Highway.
In Dallas?
No.
Where?
Garland.
Now, what time of day did this wreck happen? And you can approximate.
I don't remember.
Was it in the afternoon?
I don't know.
Do you know if it was light outside or if it was dark outside?
Light.
Clear or rainy or somewhat or something else? Was there any weather conditions going on that day that you remember?
Sunny.
Sunny.
Now, a lot of this video is this. It's the truck driver repeatedly not wanting to answer very simple baby brain questions, and the lawyer has to drill him down to the most simple form of the question.
Put together for this wreck, and it has the wreck occurring at about 3:17 p.m. Central Time. Sound about right?
I don't know.
As of the date of the wreck, you were working for Andrews Distributing?
Yes.
And you were working as a truck driver?
Yes.
Prior to Andrews, did you work for a truck driver for anybody else?
No.
So that job at Andrews Distributing, that was your first job as a truck driver?
Yes.
Did you have a CDL at the time?
Yes.
A commercial driver's license?
Yes.
And when did you get that CDL?
I don't know the exact date.
Did you have it prior to beginning work at Andrews?
Yes.
And in order to obtain that CDL, what did you have to do that a normal driver with a regular everyday driver's license did not have to do?
Form.
Okay, let's put it this way. You also have a standard driver's license, right? Or have had one prior to obtaining your CDL?
Yes.
And when you got your everyday driver's license, you had to take a test with the DMV, right?
Yes.
Now, compare that process with the process of obtaining a commercial driver's license. How did they differ?
I don't know how that's relevant to the situation here.
How about the lawyer decides what's relevant, dumbass, and you just answer the questions? And that's the thing with the deposition. You have to answer the questions even if there is an objection. Later on, if there's an objection and it's found out that the answer is not usable, then it won't be usable. And I'm sorry for the simple legal terms here, but just answer the fucking questions. Let me say that again. If the objection is valid, the lawyers can file a motion to exclude that answer from being used at trial. The answer still exists in the deposition record, but the judge can order the jury never hear it or strike it from evidence if it comes up. Is that better? Is that better?
Well, let the attorneys decide what's relevant and try to just answer my questions. How did it differ?
I don't know.
You don't know? Can't recall any differences in the process of obtaining a CDL?
I don't know.
Do you have a CDL manual?
I don't know.
Did you keep anything in the cab of that semi that you were driving the day of the wreck? Did you have a manual with all of the trucking specific rules and regulations?
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Over a year?
I don't know. Yes. No. I don't know how that's relevant.
Well, would you agree or disagree?
I don't know.
After driving, presumably for years, why don't I not presume, how long had you been driving as just an everyday driver at the time that you obtained your CDL?
I don't know.
You went to, did you go to truck driving school?
I don't know how that's relevant.
Did you go to truck driving school?
No.
You did not. Who taught you how to drive a semi-truck?
That's not relevant.
Although I am in court currently for something I did while driving a truck, the history of my driving trucks has nothing to do with it.
That's not relevant.
The rule is, just answer the question. Your attorney can object. All right? Relevance, all that. You can make those arguments or make it through your attorney, but just answer my questions, please. So, how did you learn or teach yourself how to drive a semi-truck?
Practice.
Practice. What does that entail? Just hopping into a big old rig and driving around a parking lot?
I already answered that. Practice.
Well, what does practice entail?
Practice.
Did you read any sort of literature, any sort of notebooks about driving a semi-truck when you were teaching yourself how to drive?
I taught myself and I practiced.
And as part of
And I
practicing and teaching yourself, did you read any sort of books or manuals on driving a truck?
taught myself. I practiced. I acquired a CDL.
All right, if the lawyer isn't pissed off already by this point, he is fucking livid. You can just tell.
You having a hard time with my questions?
No, I understand them very clearly, and I'm answering them clearly.
So my question is, as part of practice in teaching yourself, did you pick up anything Any manuals, any books, anything with, words in it about driving a truck?
I don't know.
Was it an easy process obtaining your CDL?
I don't know how to answer that.
It's an opinion. Can't really get it wrong.
Well, then it's not relevant.
I think it is. I think the jury will.
Let's talk facts, not opinions.
I'm going to ask the questions that I'm going to ask, sir. So I'm asking you, do you think that it was a difficult process, an easy process?
I don't know how to answer that.
Look, when I get up into the office, I push a button, my garage door goes up, I back out, I drive to work. Matter of seconds. For you, it's different, right? At least when you're driving a semi-truck. Wouldn't you agree?
Things are all about perception. That's again a perception, not a fact.
Something I want you to notice is the truck driver is repeatedly harping on about facts and opinions, and I don't think he understands that in a civil case like this, it's all about the preponderance of evidence, which means that facts are important, but the opinions of these people are really important too, because that can shift the preponderance just a tiny bit. So this whole, of course he's trying to save his ass, but at the same time, he's making himself look really bad here.
Well, you, unlike me, you probably have to spend 15 to 20 minutes checking everything on the tractor. That is, I guess, the truck portion of the truck and the trailer attached, if there is a trailer attached, right? You have to do an inspection before you begin driving.
I don't know how to answer that.
We served interrogatories in this case. Are you familiar with the term interrogatories?
No.
They're questions that we serve in this lawsuit to the other side, and at least if the rules are being followed, you're to answer them. And we did receive answers. I'm wondering if you just told your attorney, I don't know, to all the answers. Because that's what I seem to be getting today.
If you have the,
Objection, don't respond. That's attorney-client privilege.
How'd you get those interrogatories answered if you don't know? Look at me, sir. She's not supposed to give you any answers or hints. That's coaching. It's prohibited. So how'd you answer those interrogatories?
if you have the answers, why are you asking me again?
I don't have the answers to all questions. That's what today's for. And I want to make sure that you're the one who actually answered them.
Do you have the answer to the question you just asked?
No, sir. So I'm asking it to you right now. You need me to repeat the question?
Sure.
You're sitting in your cab, driver's seat, and there's a vehicle in the lane to the right of the vehicle, or of the lane that you're traveling in. At what point would the vehicle in the right lane enter a blind spot like we've been talking about today? Where would the vehicle in the lane to the right be positioned in relation to your tractor? Where would that be if it was inside the blind spot?
I don't know how to answer that question.
You're aware that you are supposed to log the hours that you are actually driving,
Form.
right?
I don't know how to answer that.
Try yes or no.
Form.
I don't know how to answer that.
You are aware that you are to log the hours in which, well, let me start with this. Have you ever heard the term sleep or berth?
Can you repeat the question?
Have you ever heard the term sleep or berth in the context of driving a truck?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It's a little weird that he would say he doesn't know about this one. Sleeper berth is just the little area where you sleep in certain trucks. Also, to be on sleeper berth time is when you are still responsible for the truck, but you are relaxing instead of being somewhere else, like in a hotel. So that's what a sleeper berth is.
I don't know.
You still driving trucks? As of today, are you still a truck driver?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Bro, thank you. I'm glad this guy did this video, and I want to say thank you because now I know if he ever ends up being my homie, I'm not inviting him to trivia. Can you imagine that? Be like, can you guys name the 5 cast members on the show Friends? He'd be all like,
I don't know.
This is the first thing. Do your eyes look closed in the frame that I have paused it at right now?
No. That's me squinting because the sun's in my eyes.
So your position is that when we see your eyes like this, it's you squinting, and you're still just looking at the road, just having your eyes squinted like I am right now.
Yeah, so if the camera's up here. If you look down upon somebody, of course it looks like that. If you look at the sun, there's no shadow on my head. The visor doesn't even go low enough to block the sun even at my head level, much less my eyes, so I'm squinting. Because in the time in the afternoon, the sun is directly in my eyes because I'm heading into the sun.
That's dangerous though, don't you think?
No, it's everyday life.
Do sunglasses help?
Oh, I don't know. It's a matter of perception.
I mean, if you are actually squinting here, by squinting, you are restricting your field of vision, are you not?
No.
And now you're even further and bang.
So what I can tell you is, compared to the driver's seat as seen in the interior video, that camera is offset from where I sit in the driver's seat. So that camera is mounted more to my passenger side than I am. Clearly, I don't know how far to the passenger side, but it is mounted towards the passenger side. The fact that that moved, that view, doesn't imply I left my lane, nor is there anybody that can factually say I already had left my lane. And per law, if I'm maintaining my lane between those white lines, it's still safe operation if I have not left my lane of travel. So only perception can be drawn from that. There is no factual evidence to say that I had already started to leave that lane based on a high-mounted camera's perception.
well, we have a hardcore subjectivist here, guys, right? It's all about perception. Your truth isn't the same as my reality, brother. All cameras are doing is showing that instant in time. They're not showing what really happened, right? Like that sort of bullshit. So I guess that's where we're at with this guy. Obviously fucked up. He's saving his own ass. I can't necessarily call the guy a fucking moron like I do with the sovereign citizens because he's trying to cover his ass, right? So he's not going to answer anything. And actually he does a pretty good job of bullshitting to the lawyer. Is he being honest? Is he showing integrity? No, God, no. But he probably wants to work in that industry in the future and doesn't want to, have his wages garnished for the rest of his life. So I don't necessarily blame the guy for that, but his bullshitting is quite incredible. Now, the thing is every episode I thank my fans, and I'm going to do that right now. Thank you, every single person. Let's keep this thing going. We've seen some momentum slow down, and that's probably because, as a new channel, I got hyped a lot, and then we're going back to normal. So it's my job to make good content, and I hope that's what I'm doing. I watched a lot of stuff this last couple weeks, and I thought this one was the best one to react to. So if you like it, if you like what I do, there's lots of ways to send me money, whether it's super chats, super thanks. You can support the channel with a subscription. If anyone actually subscribes, we can work that out a little more. But besides that, the number one thing you can do is subscribe, talk to me, leave comments, and just being part of this awesome little community that we've made. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you later. And oh yeah, court is now adjourned.
Let's go. side to side.